Hi guys, welcome to the Valentine's Day special. Not really, actually, it's Friday the 13th today. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and today we're going to be talking about the Two of Cups. Um, I don't think any tarot reader alive has lived without doing a relationship reading or two or 2000, and probably one of the cards that's most, I guess you'd say, iconic. When we're talking about relationships, is the Two of Cups, even though that doesn't always mean, a loving relationship. Sometimes it's just kind of your average handshake situation. But anyway, let's get started. The elemental association for this card is real simple. It's water. When we think about water with the Two of Cups, think about like the flow of relationships. Think about water in terms of, filling up the container that it's in, taking shape-shifting, taking shape, and being in a relationship with somebody. It does change us to a degree, but there's a little, it's a two, there's a balance, and it's kind of like compromise is good, but losing your identity is bad. Like, you don't want to be always getting your way, but you also don't always want to be giving up your way. When we have like the cliche idea of like opposites attract, but with being in a relationship and losing your identity, giving up who you are completely to make the other person happy, one, you're probably not happy, and then two, that person's gonna not really be that interested in you at that point. They were interested in the other, who it was, when they met you. If they were interested in, molding you into, part two of them, probably not the relationship you're wanting to be in. The I Ching correspondence that we're going to use for the Two of Cups is water over thunder, which is 3 in the I Ching, or difficulty at the beginning. And when we look at the Two of Cups, we look at something like this is the start of a beautiful friendship. This is something where two things are coming together, and the idea of kind of having to resolve any friction or misunderstandings or like this. It's not going to be perfect right away, and in fact, like that, it's like, hold on, sailor. Like that flash of the thunder is kind of subdued by the pushing down of the water. In fact, like the thunder trigram is kind of thought of as actually like a plant sprouting up. And if you ever heard about how like the lightning bolt actually comes from the ground, it shoots up. So what we've got is a situation where growth is in its beginning stage, and we don't want to kind of blow all that energy at the beginning. Like when someone has that big crush or that proximity infatuation, or they're a little bit too eager to get into business with you. That's kind of like slow it down and address the difficulties that are showing up, because that's important if we're going to build and maintain something sustainable in this relationship. The astrology of the Two of Cups is Venus and Cancer. And these two things kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly, like the Two of Cups themselves. Venus is love, relationships, beauty, but then it goes into things like the material world, like money, comfort. If we go to Cancer, we have like nurture, but then also on the other end of that, the material end of that, we have real estate. And so when we get the two things together, there's like intimacy going to caring, going to protection, going to caution. These are two things that sort of, they mutually benefit each other. This is a two-way street. There also needs to be kind of a reassurance. This is something where continued communication is going to be vital to maintaining the situation. This isn't something where it's just one meeting and done. This is something where these two cups, they come together again and again. They address what is kind of the orders of the day, or what are their evolving needs, and how they resolve together. We'll get started first with the design from the Ellis deck. And it's a pretty simple scene. It's a couple, they're toasting glasses together. So what we have to do is kind of look at the detail of the expressions and see what's really going on. The first thing to note is the kind of white sun behind them. The focal point of the energy in this card is behind their eyes. It's sort of accenting their eye contact. And so we have to think about eye contact is important to the Two of Cups, because one, it's intimacy. It's that sharing, that my focus is on you. You are the thing that I am present for in this moment. But then what is eye contact outside of the romantic context is sincerity. We talk about saying things like, look me in the eye and say that. What do we think of somebody that won't make eye contact with us? It's, sometimes it's something that's going out of fashion. It's unfortunate that we think, if someone's making eye contact with us, that's weird. But it's a lack of confidence. It's almost wanting to hide your being. So these are two people that are like showing their being to each other. Their eyes are green, and that's meant to represent the heart chakra. So in a relationship context, that's going to be love, caring. They're sharing a love for each other. If we were looking at this in more of like a business arrangement or something more material, we would think that this is a meeting of two people who have really put their hearts into something. This is where I have really put my energy into this thing. I love it, I care about it, and I see that you have done that too. And I think that if we work together, we can really do something fantastic. We see that these are water sprites. They're like mer people. They're from the water. That wave that's behind them is like they're caught up in the same wave. So while we have this union of opposites, on the greater scheme of things, is this realization that they're part of the same whole. This is, opposites attract, but at the same time, it's like the yin and the yang are opposites, but together they form a totality. And then lastly, if we look at them, they're clinking their glasses together. That is the traditional, like, this is a toast, cheers. It's either like, this is a good time, or, to us, but then also just the idea of like, this could be a handshake or an agreement that you've made with somebody. Okay, Starbound Phantasia time is here. So what we have on this card, instead of a couple clinking two glasses, is we have these two cups that are being united in the center. And what we can recognize from having the two identical cups is that's where we would take our idea of like kindred spirits. They're being filled from the same source. And that again is like our totality or our universality, where we all have become separate beings in this world, but at the same time, we are still of the world. We're all from the same source ultimately. And the source of the water in this card is this green face, and what that represents is the green Tara. So, there's also kind of like a heart chakra, once again, like the source, like love being this binding agent in all things. But the green Tara herself is a deity of Buddhism. She was like the mother of all Buddhas in the Tibetan pantheon. She is the kind of embodiment of compassion. She's, and they would call her she who saves. She's got the green skin, and that is seen as like a combination of all the other colors, and that is making her like the source of all beneficial activities. The plant behind her is this figure eight, or like a lemniscate, which we would see in other cards like the Magician or Strength. It's like this eternally renewing nature, But also, the green Tara was a goddess associated with nature and plants and a goddess of healing. And we see that the roots are kind of up in the air. This is like a relationship that hasn't taken root yet. This is still in this initial stage. There's an initiation happening here. Whereas like, okay, we do say with the aces, like that's an initiating card. But think of this as like two aces meeting. Like what happens there? You know, what now? What's next? You know, that there implies there's a nextness implied. So while often this gets written off as like a relationship card, I think that it's more important to look at what makes it a balance. This is our balance card with the cup suit. And for emotional balance or something where we are balancing a relationship, we have to have respect. We have to have sincerity. There has to be, some kind of mutual agreement and communication to make things work. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. I think that's pretty cool. If you want to hit like and subscribe, I also think that's pretty cool as well. I've got some links down below. I will share where I got my Ching correspondence from. I will also share where you can buy some of my art, some of my tarot decks, or just see what I'm up to. And until next time, happy reading.